You don't need to go to Niagara Falls when you can eat some Brian Balls.
If you guys couldn't tell already, coolant and antifreeze, I mean, this comes from a car guy from myself, are the exact same damn things. Anyways, guys, here is the official the official diecast out of its box and in its great glory. My God, this paint scheme is something else, man. I mean, I absolutely did love last year's Pete car from Daniel Suarez, but we'll get to that in a second. Pretty ironic that, Peak decided to leave Joe Gibbs Racing, and I believe they left Daniel Suarez as well, even though they went to basically, we're the same team that Suarez is in right now, guys. So it's like they never left, but they decided to sponsor a different driver. I find that pretty funny because I was like, Suarez used to sponsor Peak, but now they're with Stuart Haas. Interesting. But, and plus they also sponsor, if you guys saw, they also sponsor, on the rear winglets of the F1 cars. They sponsor an F1 as well. So Peak is a pretty big loyal sponsor when it comes to Stuart Haas Racing, and is glad to have Peak back on board with Clint Bowyer. I mean, we've seen, this ain't the first time we've seen Clint Bowyer in the Peak cars, guys. If you guys remember NASCAR Authentics, when Spin Master was around, they made a 2013, or I want to say, I think it's 2014, his Toyota Camry. They made the Peak car of that. Plus, they also made 5 Energy cars as well. Suck it, Lionel. Suck it real hard. Back when NASCAR Authentics actually had 5-hour energy cars released to the mass retailers. I mean, there was that one time we had the Don's Throwback car from 2016 with Kevin Harvick, and it was a Busch car, and they had it at the retailers. So, yeah. Lionel is very inconsistent. I mean, it's no shocker right there. But with all the inconsistency that they have, I will say, they really did a great job with this diecast, especially the mold, like usual. Probably decal quality is going to be horrendous, like usual, but so far I don't see anything yet. But we'll get into a closer look on that very soon, as just, my God, guys. I don't know, is that part of the paint scheme, or is that a little chopped off? Okay, that's part of the paint scheme. Hey, there we go, there's a paint chip. See, that like I just said. All right, we're off to some bad quality diecast reviews like usual, guys. But yeah, I mean, this is actually, I believe this is Clint Bowyer's main sponsor this year, guys. I mean, along with Mobile One and Haas and Rush Truck Centers. Man, guys, and Wix Filters and, all these other sponsors you got, like Taco or Toco Warranty, I think, or something like that. So Bowyer's got a lot of unique cars this year, but this one is probably, the main sponsor car that he got. He does also have a matching car to go with this, which is the Blue Def scheme, which Peak owns, by the way. So it's basically the exact same scheme, except with the Blue Def sponsor logos, and it has a white front. It has a white front hood instead of blue, so the colors are like inverted, I believe. So really cool. But yeah, guys, I mean, Peak, man, I mean, we've seen them quite a while in NASCAR Authentics, guys. This is the second Clint Bowyer Peak card that we got released in NASCAR Authentics, including Spin Master, and we also got the John Force cars that I did mention on my Daniel Suarez Peak review from last year. And speak of the devil, guys, that's going to be the side-by-side comparison that we're going to be doing today, guys. It is going to be on this beautiful Peak car from last year, which right off the bat, I can tell you one thing that I do not like about this year's. I mean, I know Stuart Haas Racing doesn't do the metallic finishes, or they didn't really want to, but could you imagine the Clint Bowyer car with the metallic sparkle finish like this? I mean, my God, that would have looked amazing. I mean, I like this blue, don't get me wrong, but I love that metallic finish. And maybe that's the main reason why I loved Schwartz's car from last year. And you see right there, the diecast quality is even more horrendous on last year's car. I mean, the headlights look like they just got eaten up or something. I mean, my God. And coming on over to the other side, you can just see that shiny metallic blue really playing action on this camera, guys. I mean, my God. And like I just mentioned on my other diecast reviews, even the Stuart Haas cars are losing contingencies. I mean, they're going to be right up there with the Penske's very soon with no contingency sponsors. RIP contingency sponsors 2020. I mean, well, Team Penske's already in it now, but yeah. Back to what I said, guys. This is a big difference in the paint scheme. I mean, it is very modern and more sleeker compared to the sharp ridge edges that we got in the Peak car from last year. But I don't mind. I mean, I like the additional black that we got. I mean, I think this the Peak scheme that we got for Bowyer this year is a much more better modern improvement compared to his last Peak car, which was in 2014. So I will say, guys, if you are looking for a Clint Bowyer Peak car, I recommend getting this one. But is this car better looking than the Peak car from last year? I mean, I don't know, guys. I mean, I'm really, I say because of the metallic finish, I definitely prefer last year's Peak car over this year's. But for a Bowyer fan, this is a much more better improvement compared to the one he drove for Michael Waltrip Racing a few years ago. Well, it's actually been a lot more years ago, guys. I mean, 2014's been like 4 or 5 years ago now, guys, if I can count right. But yeah, I mean, this is such a nice looking paint scheme, guys. And like I said, you can get a nice matching magnet to go along with this in NASCAR Authentics Wave 4. And yeah, guys, this is probably another Ford Mustang diecast I would highly recommend getting along with the other cars that we got for this year. But yeah, guys, feel free to post your comments, thoughts below as I'm about to wrap up this diecast review of the Clint Bowyer 2019 Peak Antifreeze and Coolant. Well, other way around, but you know what I mean. Ford Mustang for Stuart Haas Racing. If you guys enjoyed this review along my other NASCAR Authentics diecast reviews, then feel free to take a second, guys, and breathe as well while you're at it. And click that subscribe button and the bell icon if you guys haven't already. And until next time, guys, this has been OBB, the Diecast News Guy, and I will catch you guys on another NASCAR Authentics diecast review.